Good morning from Yummy BTV. Wishing you all well. Sending loads of love to you all as usual. Now, I feel for you. Someone's asked me to do, many of you have asked me to do this video, and it's first timers going to prison for the first time, right? Out of character. Never been involved in criminality before in their life or breaking the law in some kind of way. From the smaller things, tax evasion, fraud, domestic, driving offences, an argument in the street that you didn't foresee could go wrong for you at that time, but it's still illegal, it comes under breaking the law, or something really, really serious of murder, but it was based on emotional lack of self-control in those moments of what's the situation has brought them to the situation that they're in now, right? So you get arrested. You'll be in a police station. Depending on the crime, and your history is quite clean with no criminal history, it's quite possible you could get bail. So we look at it from that side too, but then at another stage, whilst you're on bail, which is on the outside waiting for that case to come up, you could still go to court and end up back in prison as a first timer. But we're looking at it today, that you're in court. You go from the police station in a little van to the area where you've been arrested and the local court that belongs to that particular police station. So you go to court, you go into the cells, come off the van, you go through a back of a court, that gate will close, they will come and unlock you or come and get you off the van where you step out, you walk in to the bottom, the dungeon of the courtroom where all the cells are, right? You walk in, there would have been probably a name on your board already. If not, they'll ask for it. You'll go and sit in the cubicle, the door will slam because it's early in the morning. Round about before that time, round about before court starts around 10 o'clock, 10:15, 10:30, a solicitor, if you haven't got one, you can ask for legal aid in the court. Yeah, can I see a solicitor, please? I haven't got my own one, right? You didn't know how to do it. More times than not, you might probably been in the police station and got one. So they will have a representative that comes to your cell in the morning, right? Before you go up to court, normally. If they're doing their job properly, if you get what I mean. So they'll come in, break it down to you. For the small offence, we'll apply for bail. If it's a real murder or something like that, your first time, you won't be getting bail, more than likely, right? So they'll discuss that with you, and then you'll go up to court and the solicitor will talk on your behalf. A man of good character, never been to prison before. We dispute this, or we got an argument, but he's going to lose this and lose that. We can put up sureties and blah, blah, blah. The judge says no. You get remanded into custody. You'll be in the court, you'll be in the dock, and you know what I mean? Your solicitor told me I was getting bail. You didn't, right? But he also warned you that you might not get it. So you got the worst of the two. So you walk back down the stairs from the courtroom, escorted by two prison, it's probably security guards these days, not like the old school ones, right? You go down the stairs and they'll put you in a cell. The solicitor might come back again to tell you, the first thing you're going to say is where you're going, right? So each courtroom will be allocated a local prison that they go through, because different courtrooms do different. Say we're talking London, you could go to Scrubs, Pentonville, Belmarsh, Pentonville, Wandsworth, etc. Right? That's how it works. So you need to find out. They'll tell you, yeah, what time would I be going? Like, they'll say to you, yeah, the bus could be any time after 3 o'clock, something like that, which is a sweatbox. Right? I'll explain that now. So you'll be sitting in the cell. It dawns on you that you're going somewhere that's completely unknown for you. You're thinking, you're feeling, your emotional stuff, that from what's happened outside, you know what I mean, your loss of control of the things that you had control over are now gone. So you'll be immediately, because there's not much you can do in the cell. You see what I mean? There's not a phone. You can't tell your missus you love her. Go and sort out that bit, that money, and who's going to pay it. All these things are going to be flashing through your mind, bills, etc. Am I losing my job? You know what I mean? What about my kids? Wow. So then you sit there, the sweatbox comes. It comes into the back of the courtroom, like you did in the beginning in the police van, and there'll be other men down there in that courtroom. Some may have come from prison in the morning to the courtroom to appear, and will be going back there. So they've already been to prison. There'll be probably a couple more men like you that haven't been to prison before, right? Or there might be somebody that's just been arrested, probably someone like me who's there going through everything that he's been through again. All different formats in that courtroom, getting onto that sweatbox. So you come out through the door, screws, let me stand up there, the gate will be locked, there's nowhere to run, right? Not unless you take hostages, right, to get out. Now, you come through. The sweatbox is designed kind of rectangle. I think these days, maybe a little bit wider, I don't know, like that. Normally, I think there's 4 or 5 cubicles each side of the van, right? So you go up the steps, and then you're in a little room about that size where you can barely move, right? So the door's going to slam. You look to the right, and there'll be a window that you can look out on the outside and see the streets as you're driving past, going to the prison you've been located to. That cubicles thing closed. There'll be probably a couple of men on that bus talking to each other. When we get back, yeah, make sure you've got that. Tell my man, yeah, and all that. All the jargon is going to be being told. You'll be listening because you'll be feeling some awareness and how does it all work? The confusion. You know what I mean? Something out of the ordinary. What will happen when I get there? Will they rape me? Will they rob me? What's it like? How would I tell about my missus? You don't know nothing here. Is it like the American jails? You know, all kind of things. My kids, every single feeling you're going to be feeling when that bus starts driving to the prison. When you get to the prison, it will go through the prison gate, and you'll go outside the reception area. The van will be there for a few minutes, waiting, let the inside know, yeah, there's a van here, there'll be some prisoners, you've got to get them inside. They'll take their time, or sometimes they might be quick. They'll start locking some of those cubicles with the men on that van and you. So you come out, it's your turn. You go through reception, it stands there, there'll be a holding cell there. You'll come from that bit into the holding cell and you'll be sitting. There's been times when I've been in a holding cell where you know someone straight away because I'm habitual, and there's all different types, like I said already. You'll be sitting there, but you won't know what to do. You'll be probably looking down at the floor. You'll probably be looking that way and that way, but you're listening to what's being said. Sometimes that holding room before you go into the reception area can be dead quiet, because everybody's got the realization you're in a different world now to the outside. Everything's locked, you're caged in. No control over nothing. New dawn, new day. So you have to sit there. Then all of a sudden, your name, Davis, 116. That's you. Come through into the reception area. Yeah, so you came from the magistrate's court and you've been remanded into custody to appear back on the property and money. Yeah. Everything you got. Right, all right, come through. Sign this, your card, property card, and that kind of goes into a separate box. That kind of stuff, right? So they have your name and number on it. Nobody can't get it. Then they'll say go through the reception area. You go into another holding bit where all of a sudden now it powers up a little bit because there's going to be more than one cubicle where the vans are coming back in, and there's all going to be people at the Crown Court on trial, and yeah, mate, certain people know each other, all the big mouths, all the quiet ones, everybody's in the same pond, right? So you'll be more daunting for you because you're not one of those like me. So then the hot plate, the reception caterers, our prisoners, will then shout, yeah, get your lunch, get your tea. And then you'll come out and you grab a plastic plate, a fork and that, and walk to the servery, and you'll ask a question. You go, mate, look, just get your dinner. And sometimes they think they're screws as well, right? Right? So yeah, but some will want to ask questions straight away, new prisoners, and some won't. You know what I mean? Because they're frightened of saying the wrong thing. You know what I mean? Let's be real about this. You know what I mean? It's a real difficult thing to comprehend, right? So you get your dinner, you come in, you might not even be hungry. You know what I mean? You're not used to that slosh. Or sit you're eating and da. Then you go through again, where you get your kit, prison kit, blanket, sheets, thing, big roll of stuff, bedding, sheets, right? Towels, some holy socks, right? You put it under your arm, and they will be showing your name allocated to a wing, which would normally be an induction wing, which is for newbies, where they will now have inmates who have got jobs on that wing, who do the cell card moves, where you're going to go, who you're going to bang up with. Another daunting prospect, to be in a cell with someone you don't know, a murderer, a rapist, a robber, a burglar, Gordon Bennett. So you sit down and you're waiting, and they come in and they ask you a selection of questions. The doctor, you will have to go through there if you haven't done it through reception already. In certain local jails, they're now on the wings rather than the reception area. Or you go through the doctors in reception, and if you got medication or mental health things you need to think, when you get on that wing, that's when you'll see the second half of the pharmacy, probably a nurse or something. Are you Mr. Blubber? Yeah, come and walk in here. They take your weight and stuff like that. Your diet, ask your religion, what languages, what you've English or born in, you know what I mean? All kind of things, marital status, that kind of stuff, right? So then you get allocated to a cell. And it's going to be with someone. You're not going to get a single cell straight away. You won't be on your own, mate. No, I mean, not as a first timer. It takes time. So you're going to go into a cell and it's going to be very quiet. You might have a bully boy in there. What are you in for, mate? And all that. Back in the day, you could bang up with a man on your first time and it would be a decent man. You'll ask, what do I do? Where do I, if I want to make an application, how do I get to the phone? There's phones in cells now. You'd be allocated a little bit of PIN credit as you go in, right? So you would have had to remember your numbers because you get £2 or something to use straight away. Back in the day, you never had that. But you'd be asking questions back in the day. They would have helped you, told you what to do. Most men would have. These days, we're talking about now. You're going to go into a cell and it could be a homeless man. It could be anybody. You know, a young kid who just doesn't, you know what I mean, who just wants to bully you. And they're not going to take to you asking questions. They might see it as a weakness. They look at you as a victim, someone to be exploited because you're new, you don't know the game. People ain't got no money. You might, as a working man, but you got money. If you give me that, it's all kind of tactics. People are going to play straight away. They're going to be watching. You know what I mean? That's how it is. So then in the morning when you wake up on your first day and you come out on the landing, it's not like back in the day. In the old days, a newcomer would say, but what happens next? And what's something you remember? And some of us just go, oh no, but you feel the need to answer, but diplomatically, you know what I mean? You want to help a fellow man who's struggling. But these days, you're going to come out of that cell now today, right? In today's climate and say to someone, excuse me, sir, you chatting? Oh, no respect. No one cares. Everybody's running wild now. It's not like the old days where everybody said, oh yeah, it's not as cool as that no more. It's absolute mayhem in our prisons. Yeah. So then you work out where you're going to work, where you're going to go. You go on the exercise yard, more daunting. Some might not even want to go out there and see everybody walking around and everything. You know, people doing different stuff on there. All of a sudden, there's fights on the yard and that kind of stuff. Things that, you know, that it's just not you. You know what I mean? All more daunting, right? So then you come. So then, the first timer, seriously, the first timer now has a sense of, you know what I mean? In reality, you're going to be scared. But ultimately, my advice for to be facing all this stuff for the first time, just do you and ask the powers that be the questions. Normally good guys working in different departments now, from everything, as a foreigner, religion, all kind of allocated jobs, and they'll come and they'll tell you what to do, how to use the computer on the board, where you want to make an application for a doctor, and you know what I mean. They've explained it properly. That's why they got the jobs. That, you know, back in the day they used to have a few that used to be able to do that, but now there's loads. If you get what I mean, because the staff are too lazy. They ain't got the time to do it, right? So you'll get shown those things. Wait till those people come to you. Don't ask nobody, no strangers, nothing. Yeah? That's the best advice that I can give you. I'll be up in a little while.